Because some of the players of this game have this as their first experience with Palladium Rifts, and especially for chat, as this is a game but also a live show, I wrote a little intro course to the setting and the world of Rifts for a little perspective. Welcome to Rifts. The planet is Earth. The year's 110 PA, as in post-apocalypse. Tech level and general look and feel is a chaotic combination of the 1980s and the 2180s. It's got both 80s. Sincere and satirical, silly and serious. But most of all, it's just excited to tell you about itself. Nowhere is this more apparent than in the undoubtedly amateurish exclamation points in the rules text. Sometimes 2 in a row. I've heard legends of 3 or 4, though you got well over 50 source books to search through to find them. If having that much background, locations, bonus rules, gear, and classes sounds fun to you, then you are my people. The improper exclamation point is a microcosm of Rifts. Stupid but awesome. Broken. Comprised almost entirely of homage and ripoff. But disarmingly endearing. It's everything cool the writer's ever heard of, at the same time. As for the setting, in 2189, thousands of portals opened across the globe from a worldwide surge of magical ley lines and nexus points, out of which sprang forth crazy shit, and caused equally crazy natural disasters. Volcanoes, hurricanes, earthquakes, massive ley line storms thousands of miles wide, EMP waves that rolled from coast to coast knocking out tech, just pure cataclysm. On top of that, most of the portals are connected to the real hell, filled with demons. Their legions fought a reeling and disrupted Golden Age 22nd century humanity. Field armies of 10-foot-tall chromium guardsmen power armor suits, with railguns and American flags, versus millions of demons. By the time the pace of new portal events slowed down, it was essentially a draw, with humanity earning a Pyrrhic victory in that they technically didn't go extinct over radioactive rubble. Society had collapsed. What followed was a 200-year nuclear winter dark age, with the remnants consolidating, fighting for survival against leftover demons and horrors from the rifts, forming population centers, and intermingling with the new influx of all manner of dimensional beings, or DBs. As not all of those that came through the rifts, especially later on, meant harm. The vast majority didn't even arrive on purpose. And during this and future periods, demon rifts became comparatively rare, although still the most common possibility amongst all possibilities. They came from other dimensions, planets, timelines, and time periods, plucked from their worlds and thrown into this one. Elves, dwarves, and aliens, even specific people. King Arthur, Mad Max, Baba Yaga, Loki, Vishnu, Miyamoto Musashi, the real 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. They're in Africa right now. Anyway, Atlantis, vampires, dinosaurs, Tyranids, and Terminators. Basically every myth and legend is real. 3/4 of them want to kill you. At the time my game takes place, roughly 115 PA, Rifts is post-apocalypse. It's been long enough now that the rebuilding and reconnecting phase is well underway. There are countries and nations, industry and international trade, but only just barely. World peace ain't happening anytime soon. Bandit kingdoms, warlords, private military companies are major powers the world over. Probably the biggest category of economy. Full coverage for highways and the internet is still mostly a pipe dream, but now they're working on it. There are islands of civilization separated by irradiated no man's lands, alien terrain, superflora wilderness, towns and even cities that may well have been entirely rifted in, along with the ground they were built on, such as Atlantis and the City of Brass. Deific millennium trees 20 miles wide that stretch all the way up to mid-stratosphere. There's weird-looking mutants that are actually harmless, just trying to farm up some good qual CRISPR seeds, my guy, but also nearly identical-looking ones that are nightmare creatures that feed on human spinal fluid. Well, how do you navigate that very pickle while also trying to survive? Great question. And if your answer is anti-magic human supremacist fascism, let me introduce you to the coalition states. The foremost driving force of human civilization in former America, if not all of Rift's Earth. Their territory covers about 6 states of the former U.S. Much of North American politics and influence are determined by, for, and against the CS in its quest for absolute dominance. It's a damn shame they went the fascism genocide route, beside the obvious horrors of both, because after the Dark Age, the world really needed a hero. They found themselves in about the perfect position. Great resources, leftover infrastructure technology, surrounded by potential allies. Diplomacy, democracy, and incorporating the powerful goodly DB races and magic into their culture and military could very well have been the strong and benevolent leadership that the continent needed to not only survive but flourish. But Emperor Prozac was much more interested in absolute power, and the population was frightened enough to swallow whatever propaganda he fed them. In other words, I'm from Buenos Aires and I say kill 'em all won the debate. Maybe it's all just proof that the Dark Age was not quite ready to end. But inch by inch, we've been crawling our way back, in no small part due to those leftover super soldier technologies from the Golden Age, plus whatever new ones we can get our hands on to beat the demons back. Rediscovered, reverse engineered, or invented. Juicers, crazies, power armor and magic, laser weapons, psionics, cyborgs, genetic engineering, mech warriors, and alien technology. Each one powered by bravery and heroics. But also millions of credits, cancer-causing radioactive ammunition, dark packs with otherworldly powers, mental instability, loss of humanity, or a 5-year lifespan until your heart audibly explodes from burnout. Hey, there's always a catch. But you did it anyway, so that your children, your children's children can live in peace and prosperity. Someday they'll look back and think that you became a monster in order to fight the monsters, and they'll probably be right, but fuck them. You did what you had to do. You start with a laser gun, cyberpunk jacket, silver bullets, a bar of soap, and a bag of candy. Welcome to RIFTS.